Hello, this is question 2 on your Pure 3 Maths, January 2023, Edexcel in IAL. You have expression with cos and sine, so fx is cos x plus 2 sine x. Express fx in this form. When r and alpha are constants, r is positive and alpha is between 0 and pi halves. You have to give the exact value of r and the value of alpha in radians to 3 decimal places. So remember, when we have these questions, we are going to always do the same way. So we have our initial expression, is this one, 2 sine x, and we are going to make it equal to r cos x minus alpha. We are going to use the addition angle for this bit here, which means that cos x plus 2 sine x is going to be r, and cos x minus alpha is cos x cos alpha cos x cos alpha plus, remember opposite sign when we are working with cos, and sine x sine alpha. These formula are all in your formula booklet, yeah, so you don't need to remember. And now cos x and sine x are variables, but cos alpha and sine alpha are numbers, yeah? So what we are going to do is compare this side with this side. The coefficient of cos x in the left hand side is 1. It has to be equal to the coefficient of cos x in the right hand side. So we are making the coefficient here, which is 1, equal to the coefficient of cos x in this side, yeah? So this is going to be equal, to r cos alpha, because it's just a number. And then we do the same with sine. So the coefficient of sine x is going to be the coefficient of sine x in this side, yeah? So 2 is going to be equal to r sine alpha. And from here, with two these simultaneous equations, we are going to find r and alpha. We are going to find alpha first, dividing this equation by this one. So 2 divided by 1 is 2 on the left hand side. Then if I divide the right hand side, r is cancelled and sine divided by cos is tan. So 2 is tan alpha. And in radians, be careful, with the calculator in radians, we do tan minus 1 of 2, and then we get that alpha to 3 decimal places is 1.107 radians. That's the first thing they ask. Now they ask me r, but they say the exact value. So I cannot substitute this one here or here and find r because I'm not going to get the exact value. What I have to do is to use this inequality. So I know the sine square alpha identity, cos square alpha is 1. From here, I know sine alpha is 2 divided by r, so if I square it, it's going to be 4 divided by r squared, and the same with cos. Cos alpha is 1 over r, if I square it, is 1 over r squared. This is going to be 1, which means that 5 is going to be r squared, which means that r is going to be root 5. And they say r is positive, so we are going to pick only the positive root, right? This one, yeah? So this is the first part. Then for b, they give us a function. This function is 3 minus 7f to x. Using the answer to part A, write down an exact maximum value of g. So we are going to substitute f of 2x by the expression that we found here. So this first part allow us to write cos x. So this whole thing means that cos x plus 2 sine x, yeah, this one is r, which is root 5, cos x minus alpha, that is 1 or this one, yeah? So this is helping us to write that. So if we have to write for b gx using that expression, we have gx is 3 minus 7 f 2x, be careful, it's 2x instead of x. So 3 minus 7, and now instead of writing fx this way, I'm going to write fx this way. So I'm going to write root 5 cos, and I'm doing f of 2x, so instead of x, I'm going to write 2x. Yeah, and they are asking me the maximum of this function. So if you see this function, I have one fixed value, which is positive, which is 3, and then I'm subtracting something that is multiplied by a value that goes between -1 and +1, so between -1 and 1. This whole thing will be maximum when I have 3 and I am adding the maximum value that this can take. The maximum value that this can take is when cos is -1, and that -1 goes together with this minus, it becomes a plus, and it's 3 plus 7 root 5. Yeah, so that's my maximum value. The max, if you want to write away, is 3 plus 7 root 5. That is happening when this cos whole thing is -1. Yeah, when this is -1. And then they ask for the last part, find the smallest positive value of x for which this maximum value occurs, giving your answer to the decimal places. So we need to find the value of x, but we know cos of this expression is -1. So this is what we need to find. So for the last part, I'm not sure if I have space here. Yeah. Last part I have to do cos 2x minus 1.107 must be -1, which means in radians that the value inside the angle 2x minus 1.107 is going to be pi. Yeah, is when cos pi is -1. And just from there, I just make x the subject. So x is going to be pi plus 1, or so x is going to be pi plus this value divided by 2. And I have to round to 2 decimal places. So this is 2.12 radians. Yeah, and that's all.